I'm here with the Chief Executive of Qatar Airways, Akbar Al Baker. Thank you very much for doing the interview with the Financial Times. I'd like to ask you, Qatar has been a very rapidly growing airline. Can you talk to me about where you've come from and where you're going to?
We have grown from a very small regional carrier with a revenue per annum of only $100 million to an airline that is today fields 204 aircraft and growing very rapidly. And with our turnover in the last financial year, we just finished last March, we were $11 billion turnover company. So we have come a far and long way, including at times when there was very, very strong recession. And as you know very well that we are under a very severe embargo by our neighbors who want to bully us. However, we are not going to slow down. We will continue our march ahead.
So the blockade, it came out of the blue. How badly has the blockade by the Gulf states affected Qatar Airways?
In the initial days, it did affect us very badly, but I think the booking curve has started to go up again. And I'm sure that as the real story of this embargo spreads around the world, that passengers will again have the capacity to fly once again in the world's best airline.
What have you had to do to avoid the worst impact of the embargo? Have you had to cancel flights, divert flights?
Yes, we certainly had to cancel nearly 52 flights in 18 destinations that we have a blockade, but we have 24 new destinations that we want to open. So soon that vacuum that has been created by this embargo will be fulfilled, and Qatar Airways will again meet its planned growth by the end of our current financial year, which is end of March next year.
Okay, but you also have a laptop ban, which has also hit passenger bookings initially, I believe.
It did.
The combined effect of that, how serious is it?
It did, but it affected us very little. When you go and see in hindsight, we don't collect more than 15 laptops and iPads on every flight. So, you know, people normally get used to some restrictions. You know, when you started to have long queues in security, when you started not be able to carry certain parts, liquids, for example, on aeroplanes, you didn't stop traveling. So you got used to it not carrying liquids. You got used to not carrying certain item of equipment. So I think people will get used to this kind of bans and they will get over it.
In terms of the regulators, however, have the regulators done anything to intervene, the ICAO?
This is what is very disappointing to me, that the ICAO has not been so robust and aggressive that I would have expected, especially since they have 3 countries out of the 4 that have embargoed us sit on the council of ICAO, and they should not be allowed to sit in the deliberations when ICAO is debating the Qatar's embargo, because they are party to this, and there is a conflict of interest of these 3 countries. I don't know what action the president of the council is taking to ban these people into any deliberation that is taking place in favor of my country.
So would you consider legal action to try and recoup the cost, and will you quantify the cost of these bans?
I would not like to mention anything about this. This is something that I will consider at a later date, and I am not, I don't wish to reply to this question.
And as far as quantifying the cost impact to you?
We know what is the cost impact. We quantify the cost on a daily basis to the airline, but I'm not prepared to say anything more than this. I will leave it to my government to decide what action they would like to take.
And finally, there's been a lot of speculation about a wider slowdown in the Middle East. It sort of began to happen even before the blockade. Can you tell me what the growth prospects are? Is it beginning to slow down?
The slowdown happened in our region, but it didn't happen in Qatar Airways. Last year, we grew 20.01% in passenger numbers, and a robust over 23% on profit.
Do you think there will be any deferrals or cancellations of the many aircraft you have on order as a result of this convergence of
No,
events?
this will not happen. I will not cancel any aeroplanes. I will live up to all the contracts I have signed, and we will continue to take the deliveries of our aircraft.
Thank you very much, Mr. Al Baker.